Hi everyone! I hope you're all having a great weekend. I know that I am. And before I go into anything, I just want to say Happy Mother's Day to all of you beautiful, amazing, fabulous mothers out there. I hope that you are celebrating yourself and being celebrated today. So happy Mother's Day to all of you. I wasn't going to do a video today, so this is actually very spontaneous for me. I realized that the kale that I purchased to do this video was probably going to spoil if I don't get around to doing the video like right now. So here's a spontaneous video from me, and don't mind, my mouth is a little bit weird. I woke up this morning and it was all swollen. I don't know what caused it to be swollen. The swelling's kind of gone down a little bit, so if I'm talking funny or if I look a little funny today, that's what it is. So, oh well. Hopefully it continues to go down as the day progresses. So here we go into the recipe. It is Kale Pâté, and it comes from Leanne Vogel's The Keto Diet. It just came out and I'm using it for a lot of different recipes. Going right into making the kale pâté, which is so delicious. The first thing you do is destem the kale, and the kale's already been washed. It takes 4 cups of kale. So I'm going to go through and just destem all of this. This back over to the paper towel so that I can cut it, because it has to be chopped. And then I'll toss these aside over here into the sink. That works, right? Okay, so then I get the knife and just start chopping up. Place it in the measuring cup. This is a 4-cup measuring. So, got your 4 cups of kale, and then you take 2 tablespoons of avocado oil, and I use the avocado oil Chosen Foods that you get at Costco. It's a really good olive oil. So 2 tablespoons. I'm a measurer. I know a lot of you folks don't necessarily measure, and I'll get there one of these days. So I'm going to put this in the pan on the stove, let that get started to heat, and then I will put my kale in it. So when that oil is heated up, or actually, you know what? It doesn't even need to be heated up. I'm just going to put the kale in there. Let me make sure that that's all. I only made this one other time, but I loved it. Yeah, the avocado oil, and just put the kale in. This is so easy, such an easy recipe. Just put all of the kale in there and cover it. And then I'll stir it every few minutes or so. So avocado oil aside, and then meanwhile, the rest of the ingredients: scallions, green onions, and only the green portions of the onions, not the white. So I'm just gonna chop the whites off. She calls for 8. I prefer not that much onion, so I'm just using 5. When I made it before, it just seemed to have a little bit too much of an onion flavor. So just chop up the onions. Okay, let me give this a stir over here. Cooking nicely. She says until it's crispy, or about 5 or 6 minutes. Okay, and just place everything else into the blender. So there's the green from 5 onions, or you can do 8 like the recipe calls. I prefer not. The sesame seeds is the other ingredient. And it is half a cup. Did I have the half cup out? No. So, half a cup. Now I do. So just a half a cup of sesame seeds. There we go. Okay. And 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. Give this a stir again. Oh, it's cooking down nicely, you guys. You can hear that snap, crackle, and pop, huh? Okay, and then 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. I like to shake it up. And again, just use my handy. I love these things. 3 tablespoons. Apple cider vinegar, make sure I read that right. Yep, 3 tablespoons, onions. And then 1 1/4 teaspoons Celtic sea salt. I'd never heard of it before, but it's gray sea salt. Got it at the local health food store. It's kind of cool. So, hi honey. Husband's here. So 1 1/4 teaspoons of the salt. 1. Let me check this again. Okay, and 1/4 teaspoon of the salt. Okay, so that's all the ingredients. It's really very simple. So it's just avocado oil, kale, sesame seeds, green parts of the onion, apple cider vinegar, and gray sea salt. So I need to put this into the blender, and I'm going to let that cook for another, it's been 3 minutes, I'm going to let it cook for another 3 minutes. Put this over here so I can get it in the video. And then just place the kale into the blender. Get that knife. So it's crispy, a little bit browned. Might have cooked a little bit too much, you guys. So it'll still taste good. All right. There we go. And one more ingredient I forgot to put in. Avocado oil. A half a cup. So this time, where's a half a cup on this thing? Okay, right here. Sometimes it's hard to see on this thing. So put that in there. And then just put the cover on. Deliciousness. Almost here. There we go. Put it on my Vitamix and blend. Let's see how it's looking. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. Look at that. Can you see it? Yeah. Oh, it's so good. I think that's blended enough. I'll just blend it just a little bit more, just to make sure it's fully blended. So good. Okay. Now, move this pan aside, and we have got, let me move this aside too, so you can see it a minute. And then I just put it in a ball jar, or in this case, probably I'll need 2 ball jars, and I'll freeze one, and then just have one to just have in the refrigerator. It's so good. It's so delicious on, I slice up cucumbers or radishes and I just use it as a dip. Okay. It might only just fill up one of these jars, maybe. So messy. But I think you get the idea. I don't need to show you filling them all up, but you get the idea. So it'll make about 1.5 of these small ball jars. So there's one. I'll probably put this one in the freezer. Wipe around it. Messy, messy, messy. So there's one. They can make nice little gifts too, actually, you know. And then the second one. So there we go. Okay, well, I'm not gonna waste your time with me filling up the second jar, but that's Kale Pâté. The recipe for Kale Pâté, you can see so easy, just a handful of ingredients. It took me seriously 10 minutes, maybe. Delicious, healthy fats in it, avocado oil, sesame seeds, apple cider vinegar. I love the Bragg's, I put it away already, but I love Bragg's apple cider vinegar. And kale, I mean, kale is extremely healthy, that dark green leafy vegetables, so good for you. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed that, and I will put the link for the recipe down there, and if there's not a link to it, I'll just write out the recipe for you. Hope you enjoyed it, and have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and happy Mother's Day to all you beautiful mothers out there. Bye-bye.